Diddy is off suicide watch, as you all know, because he's a high profile celebrity. They put him on suicide watch for the first couple of weeks at the MDC Brooklyn. And he was finally taken off suicide watch. And he was able to have visits with his kids. So his kids came to visit him. So I know he was happy about that. And that's one advantage that Diddy has over R. Kelly, is that his children seem to be sticking to the program and sticking to the code and sticking by their father, which they should. They should. He's going through a trying time, and no matter if you like Puff or not, his kids should honor their father, and they should be there for him during this trying time. R. Kelly's kids are so disrespectful and so ungrateful, they didn't even go visit their dad, because Drea told them not to, you know. And so that's one advantage that Diddy had over R. Kelly, is that he seemed to have his children on his side. As y'all know, and most of you R. Kelly fans have heard by now, Drea and her daughter, Joanne, is coming out with a documentary, and it's going to air on October 11th, which is next week. And it's going to allegedly talk about some secrets, some family secrets. And Joanne is supposed to be revealing a deep, dark secret about R. Kelly. And a lot of people are online saying, oh my God, she's going to say that he raped her as a child. I don't think she's going to say that, but we will see what the documentary says. They edited it to make it seem like she was going to say she got raped as a kid. But I don't think that that's what she's going to say. I cannot believe that these people already have R. Kelly in jail, and they're still figuring out a way to kick his back in. Like, these are the most disrespectful, ungrateful people ever. R. Kelly paid Drea $20,000 a month in child support up until she went out, started screaming and getting his tours canceled. And then he could no longer afford to pay the $20,000 a month he was giving her. So at what point do these people understand that they had it good when R. Kelly was free? Because he was providing for the entire family. And you stab him in the back for a $3,000 check from Lifetime. And this janky documentary looks like it's only going to gain a few dollars, because people have moved on from the R. Kelly drama. The majority of the public has moved on from the R. Kelly drama, and everybody is on to Diddy. So he's the latest person that is being targeted. So I don't understand what Drea hopes to get out of it. She's supposed to be writing a tell-all book as well, and talking about Diddy and R. Kelly and a whole lot of other shit that happened in the music business. So we'll see what happens to Drea. I think she's going to talk herself into an indictment. I don't think Drea is going to be free much longer, y'all, because remember, she was brought up in court. Remember, old girl said that she was having sex with Drea too. A lot of the girls said that Drea tried to have sex with him. Don't think that the feds can't come and arrest Drea and lock her up, especially if they're trying to keep R. Kelly behind bars and not get his conviction overturned. I could see them going and arresting Drea because she's been too gleeful, too public. She won't sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. And she's basically inviting the federal government to come and lock her up for the threesomes that she had with women without R. Kelly present. So we'll see what happens to Drea. She's a lunatic. She don't know how to leave well enough alone. I wish R. Kelly never met her. His biggest mistake was marrying Drea. I said from day one, if he never met that goofy bitch, he would be way better off in life. At least Diddy baby mamas are not doing documentaries. At least Diddy baby mamas are not out here trying to see Puff in jail for the rest of his life, because they understand, hey, if Puff go to jail, the feds gonna come and seize all our cars, all our mansions, everything. They're gonna take it all, and we're gonna be on the streets in poverty. They understand how to keep the family together. Drea didn't understand or value money. She's a dumb whore and a silly bitch. I'm so sick of her. But like I said, she ain't gonna be free much longer. I see Drea getting an indictment. Because it was the federal government asking them girls those women in Chicago about Drea. Remember, it was the feds that brought up Drea to the women on the stand. It wasn't Jennifer. It was the feds. So that let me know they were building a case against Drea. Her goofy ass. What a goofy whore. Anyway, back to Puff. There's a lot going on with Diddy. He really is being targeted. There is allegedly a tape floating around of him with a younger male celebrity. It's a sex tape. And this lawyer said that people are trying to get the other male in the tape to buy the rights to the tape before they put it on the open market to be sold. And she said the reason why she didn't try to get involved in the transaction was because the individual on the tape looked really young at the time, and she couldn't tell if he was at least 18 years of age in the tape. So I'm thinking, what is it that they're trying to do? Are they trying to say that Puff was with Justin Bieber when he was a minor and it's on tape? I think Justin Bieber is a target for some reason. Justin Bieber is a target by these elites. I think the entire Diddy arrest is going to be a way for them to kill Justin Bieber and blame Puff for it. They're going to blame Puff. They're going to say Justin Bieber committed suicide because of rumors of a sex tape. And then they're going to blame Puff for it. It's something. I think Justin Bieber needs to leave the country. He's not safe. He's not safe at all. It's when Justin Bieber canceled that tour, and when those people realized that he no longer really wanted to be a part of the music business, I think they started plotting on him, and they feel like, okay, we're not going to make money off you. You're not going to go out and tour. We're going to figure out a way to kill you. And what's the quickest way to kill Justin Bieber? Is to say, oh, he was molested as a child. You keep seeing people, the media talking about Justin Bieber allegedly being molested as a child by Diddy, which we don't know if that's true or not. But they keep putting that in the atmosphere. And they were told to put that in the atmosphere just so that when they killed Justin Bieber off, they could say, oh, Justin Bieber committed suicide because he was raped by Puff. And that could be another way to take down Puff and guarantee that he gets convicted in a court of law while killing Justin Bieber and making billions of dollars off of his death. Because right now, Justin Bieber is worth more dead than alive. So what they're doing now is putting all these stories out about a child that was abused as a minor and someone who's lonely and sad. And a lot of people are online, oh my God, I love Justin Bieber so much. And oh my God, so that's what they're doing. They're doing all of this to create a lot of sympathy for Justin Bieber so that when they kill him, they could make billions and they could say, oh, this is all Puff's fault. Because the target is to kill Justin Bieber, and the other target is to have Puff spend the rest of his life behind bars. I need y'all to use your critical thinking skills. There may not even be a tape of Puff with a young male celebrity, but they're putting that out in the atmosphere so that they could create an excuse when Justin Bieber mysteriously dies. And I'm not wishing this. And I'm not wishing this on Justin Bieber at all. I don't want nothing to happen to Justin Bieber. But we know how evil the music business is. And we know how evil Sony and all these other people are. They will kill you off when they feel like they can make more money off of you dead than alive. Justin Bieber has already said he didn't want to tour anymore. He just wanted to be himself. He wanted to be free. He'd been doing this since he was a kid. He was tired of these people. He said it out of his own mouth. He canceled the tour. People lost money, and they're angry with him. So keep that in mind. Keep all of that in mind when you think about what's getting ready to happen to Justin. I don't know. I think they might also release a sex tape of Diddy. I don't know who they're going to release the tape of. If it's going to be Diddy with Meat Mill or Diddy with a female celebrity, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. They might release another tape of him beating Cassie. The goal is to damage him so much that by the time he goes to trial, he is so tainted, he would never be given any leeway of innocent until proven guilty. The moment he walks into that courtroom for this trial, he's already convicted before even his lawyer opens his mouth. And that's what they're doing. Another thing that they did this week, they had this lawyer come out. His name was Tony Bugsby. And the lawyer said that he has 120 people that are getting ready to file a class action lawsuit against Puff. And 25 of those 120 people are minors, including a 9-year-old. And he said the 9-year-old was lured to Bad Boy Records, and the 9-year-old was sexually assaulted. And he told the 9-year-old that he was going to give him a record deal, and he told the 9-year-old's parents that he was going to give the boy a record deal, but no record deal ever came. So that's what they're saying. So when I saw that, and I saw the lawyer say, we got a hotline. Call the hotline. It's a 1-800 number. I think the number is 1-800-200-7474. So I called the number. And the first time I called, it was busy, which is understandable because it's a Diddy hotline. And I said, I'm going to wait a few minutes and I'm going to call back. I called back again and it was busy. And I said, I'm going to wait a few minutes and I'm going to call back again. And I called back again and they finally answered. And the reason why I called is to figure out how easy it was to use the hotline to make a fake claim against Puff. Because I've never met Puff, right? I don't know him, never met him, never been in the same room with him, and probably will never meet him, right? But I called up there and it was a lady. Finally, I got through. And I talked to the lady. I said, what is the vetting process? And they said, you got to answer a few questions. And then we're going to put you on a list of victims. And then the lawyer is going to reach back out to you and he's going to decide if you're going to be in the lawsuit or not. And they said just a few questions they would have for me. So then I said, so anybody who has never met Puff can just call up here and say they got raped. And they will be added to a list of victims. And she said, yes. She said, we'll add you to the list of victims. But he would make a decision. The lawyer, Tony Bugsby, will make a decision about who's going to be in the lawsuit. But they'll add you to the name of victims. So that's what they're doing. Now that they've said, when I found that out, I realized, oh, they're going to add anybody who calls the line to the list of victims just so that they could embarrass Puff. So right now it's about over 3,000 people, right, have called the line. And you call the hotline, you're automatically going to be added to the list of victims, and they're going to say he got over 3,000 victims, right? but it's only going to be a select few on the lawsuit. So then I said, oh, okay. And we ended the conversation. How about the lady? I mean, not the lady, but the people texted me back. I guess they had my number. I didn't give them my number or anything. I didn't give it my name, my number, any personal information. But the people texted me back from the hotline, and I'm going to read to you what they said. They said, we apologize for missing your call on the Sean P. Diddy Combs Abuse Helpline. Remember, I told y'all I called several times and it was busy, so I guess they track numbers. If you're having issues getting through to us on our 1-800 number, please give us a call back on our direct line, 779-548-4817. We thank you for your courage of coming forward and helping us with our fight for justice. To expedite your consultation, please call us at our direct number, 779-548-4817, or begin over text by replying to our first question here. Were you or your loved one physically or sexually abused by Sean Love Combs or his business entities, employees, or other close associates? And they sent me another text. I didn't respond to that text. And they sent me another follow-up text that said, hi there. I'm reaching out to you in regards to the Sean P. Diddy Combs abuse lawsuit you inquired about. We are just needing to go over a few questions to get you qualified for this claim. We would like to help you on your journey towards healing as well by filing a lawsuit on your behalf. Do you have a few minutes to answer some questions over a text? Or can you give us a call back at 1-800-200-7474? Thanks. And then I texted back, finally. I said, I called the number for research purposes. I believe a lot of these accusers are making false claims. No, I have not been abused by Diddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy. So that's what I said to the people. And it was just mind-boggling to me how easy it was to call up there and get put on a situation to where you could get put on the victims list. I didn't give them my name, but they had my number because I called up there using my number. I didn't block my number out before I called them. So that's how they were able to text me. So they're tracking the numbers of whoever calls up there, and they're texting back or they're calling back, and they're trying to get people to say that they were abused. Now, if I didn't have integrity, I could just lie and say, yeah, I was in Miami, I was at a club, and Diddy grabbed my breast. You know, never met the man a day in my life. But I could just make up a lie to get a check. And it's a lot of people that's going to do that. But they're not going to charge him with anything off that hotline. They sent that lawyer out there to do the hotline to get all of these fake victims so that it could just make them look worse. And they keep hollering about Puff and a 9-year-old. Puff had a 9-year-old. Puff raped a 9-year-old. And they know that if they keep repeating it in the media, that's going to be another nail in his coffin. So the man is only charged with Cassie, right? He's only charged with 3 counts. And all of those counts relate to Cassie. But they realize we might not get a conviction off of him just going to court for Cassie. So what we need to do is really humiliate him in the public and really make it seem like this man is just a treacherous individual that's been wreaking havoc and creating mayhem for 30 years. We're going to say he raped a 9-year-old. We're going to say all these people calling into the hotline, but they're not going to tell you how easy it is to get through and get put on a victims list. You know, it's unbelievable what they're doing, but they did a hotline for R. Kelly too. The difference is people were playing on the R. Kelly hotline. They were calling up there and they were playing, so they really didn't get no traction off of that shit. But they decided to try the hotline thing again with Puff, and that's what they're doing. They coming up with ways to just embarrass him more in the public and create a hatred for him, so that when he finally goes on trial for the Cassie shit, you have people hearing, oh no, we got to get this dude off the street. We heard he raped 9-year-olds. He's not going to be charged with no 9-year-old. But we got to convict him because we heard he raped a 9-year-old. We heard he out here wreaking havoc on minors. I already seen people online saying, oh, Puff is way worse than R. Kelly. R. Kelly had teenagers. Puff is raping little babies. He's raping 9-year-olds. So that conversation is already happening without proof. Because just like how I called up to the line and I asked a question about how easy it is to be a victim on the victim list, and that lady told me we're going to just automatically put you on a victim list, but everybody not going to be on the lawsuit. I said, well, if it was so easy for me to call up there, what's to stop somebody else from calling up there and say I was 9 years old when Puff raped me at Bad Boy? How do we know that's true? And where were the parents? Where were the parents where their 9-year-old boy was getting raped? You see, people just believe anything, and they know it's easy to make a black man look bad in this country, especially a wealthy black man. If you're a wealthy black man and they take you down, it's a lot of happiness in people's souls because you have people of all walks of life who love to see black men fail. And they don't even care about investigating the facts. I care about facts. The only thing we know for a fact that Diddy did was beat up Cassie in the hotel hallway. And that was wrong. That was completely wrong. I don't condone it. I don't support it. It was a disgusting video to see. And if they charged him with domestic violence, I would support it. I would say he should be charged with domestic violence. But all of this extra shit that they're doing to him makes me feel terrible for him as a man. It makes me feel terrible for him because I do not believe that Puff was raping 9-year-olds. I do not believe that he was doing all of this extra shit that they're trying to put on him, because over the years, we've never heard about Puff raping no 9-year-old. It's always been jokes about him dealing with grown men and women and being bisexual, but we never heard about him with no minors, like raping little boys. I never heard about that. So they just pulling this out the clear blue sky to just destroy him before he goes to trial, because Puff was really getting a lot of support. Before he got accused of that 9-year-old situation, Puff was getting a lot of support, and there was a lot of people saying, look, Puff may have had freak offs, but Cassie was grown, them prostitutes were grown, them strippers were grown, and we shouldn't be worried about what grown people do. And it was a lot of people, including me, that was saying that. So when they saw that, they said, nah, they're not really upset over Puff having no freak offs. We got to make it seem like Puff is a monster, like he's physically raping 9-year-old babies. So we're going to put a hotline out there, and we're going to say somebody called a hotline, and they were 9 years old at the time that they got raped by Puff. All of this is disgusting. All of this is disgusting. All of this is disgusting. It's over with for Puff, y'all. I don't think they might let him come out of jail. Once they do all this to him, I think he might be doing a good amount of time behind bars. And it's sad, because we don't see this for any other race. We don't see all of this for Charlie Sheen, you know. Charlie Sheen been skating by. They keep skipping over Charlie Sheen and skipping over Bryan Singer and skipping over Sylvester Stallone, all the underage girls he raped back when he was doing Rocky. Remember them women came forward and that was hushed up, saying that they got raped back in the day by Rocky, when Sylvester Stallone was doing Rocky. And they would come to the hotel, and all that was going on. I feel sad for Puff. I really do. And I know a lot of y'all don't feel sad for him because you feel like he beat up Cassie, he mistreated Cassie, and he did. He did. He did a lot of women dirty. He beat women, he did all that. But we should all want people to go to trial for what they did and not for lies. If someone is guilty of domestic violence, they should be held accountable for that. But don't lie on the man and say he raped 9-year-olds. Don't create a hotline that's going to get everybody and their grandmama calling up there, making up stories to act like they got raped by Puff. It's not right. It's not right what they're doing to him, and I don't co-sign it because it would never be done to a white man. I ain't never seen them create a hotline for Charlie Sheen. How many women Charlie Sheen gave AIDS to that he was allowed to pay off? The last girl that was 19 got $100,000. The judge said, well, we going to grant you $100,000. This girl got full-blown full-blown AIDS. And she got it from him at 19 years old. And all she got was $100,000. Charlie Sheen has not been charged. You got to search for all the information about Charlie. The man has been allowed to wreak havoc. It's no hotline. Charlie Sheen deserve a hotline. If you or your loved one was given HIV by Charlie Sheen, call this number right now. Where's that at? Where's that at? What about all the prostitutes that were beaten up in Charlie Sheen's homes? Where's that at? Where's the hotline for those women? See, I don't like when it's only done to our kind. I don't like when only black men are held accountable. I'm not saying black men shouldn't be held accountable. If someone did something, they should be. But don't skip over white men who do the same thing and then overly, aggressively go after black men when you got the white man over there giving out HIV to teenage young ladies. And he's only having to pay $100,000 and he at home chilling. Charlie Sheen got a lot of money. $100,000 here and there. It's not a lot of money to him. But anyway, this is a lesson to everybody in the music business. Clean up your behavior. Get a wife. Stop fucking all these freaks. Stop doing drugs. Stop putting yourself in a position to where you got to be accused of shit. And you know, just stop putting yourself in that position. But I think even if Puff was a choir boy, if they wanted to take him down, they would take him down. They would take him down and say he was the biggest rapist. You know, so it doesn't matter if he did it or not, because they're lying on him about the 9-year-old. They're lying on him about a 9-year-old, and I'm sickened. I don't want anybody to be falsely accused of raping a 9-year-old. Puff beat Cassie, but Cassie got $30 million. Cassie got her fucking justice. Cassie chose not to press charges, and she chose to get financial justice. She should not be allowed to come to court and be called a victim of sex trafficking when she willingly chose to have sex with other men. And she willingly chose to meet women at the club and say, hey, you want to come back and fuck me and Puff tonight? She did all that shit. So we're not going to act like she wasn't a willing participant. She was that man's girlfriend. She was mistreated, but she did the sex stuff willingly. And until they can come out and show me proof of her being drugged, that's my stance. I feel bad for her as a domestic violence victim, but I don't believe that this man was just raping her and forcing her to do sex parties. I think she liked the sex parties. I think she liked that freaky stuff. I think she liked the lifestyle. I think she did drugs with him, because it's a lot of women, whatever they man do, they gonna do. You know, if their man smoke crack, they gonna start smoking crack too, because they want to be included in whatever their man got going on. So at the end of the day, God bless Puff. God bless his children. You know, they got, especially his daughters, they got to hear about 9-year-olds being raped and all this goofy stuff that isn't true. Um, so let's keep them in our prayers. You know, Puff is not a perfect person, but he is being railroaded. He is being railroaded.